Welcome to Diceborn. This is our series from the 17th Shard where we're going to be playing through a campaign of Mistborn Adventure Game. I'm Ben, aka Overlord Jebus, and I'll be playing Dervish today. And joining me on this adventure will be Ian.
Hey, I'm playing Royce.
Rosemary.
Hi, I am playing Hallie.
Grace.
Hey, I'm playing Marelyn.
Matt.
Hey, I'm playing Luka Ilariel.
And our GM for this game, Natasha.
Your illustrious board roller.
This is episode 4 of our Mistborn Adventure Game series. Mistborn Adventure Game is a narrative-focused tabletop role-playing game made by Crafty Games and set in the world of Mistborn. You can find the rest of the series in a playlist on the 17th Shard YouTube channel, and I recommend you do that, as you'll be a little bit lost if you start with this episode. Especially this episode. You can also watch the Session 0 for this campaign if you give us a little bit of money on Patreon as well.
Hey, it's me, I'm Giveaway Ben, and I'm going to tell you about today's giveaways with Bridge 4. Oh, look at that, woo! Right, okay, so I'm actually going to do last episode's winners first, rather than the new giveaway for this week. And so we have, congratulations to Amy Frazier. Last week's question was, who from Mistborn would you want to meet someone from Stormlight? And Amy Frazier said she'd love to see Wayne and Lopen go drinking. Well done to Landis963, who said Mraze and Kelsia, but also think that Sabariel and Breeze would get on very well. And finally we have Freja Sundstrom, who said Caesar and Yasna would love to talk about philosophy, religion and history together. So well done to you three, you've all won a Stormlight Archive Call to Adventure Deluxe Edition. You should have received a message from me last week, and we can get those shipped off to you soon. Cool. On to today's giveaway, and we just have the one giveaway today, and today it is a Crafty Games have given us a Mistborn Adventure Game to give away. This is the rulebook for the base game, but if you already own the rulebook for the base game, they're happy to swap it out for any other rulebooks that you would like. All you need to do for this week's is just leave a comment. Just tell us how you're enjoying Diceborn. Are we doing well? What do you think? We're still new to this. We're still finding our feet, and feedback is great. So yeah, just leave a comment on this video and be a subscriber. And then in a week's time, I will pick a winner from the people who've commented and our subscribers. And whoever that winner is will win a Mistborn Adventure Game rulebook. This giveaway is worldwide for all countries except for Quebec and places that can't receive packages from the US. Thank you again to Crafty Games for giving us this book to give away. Cool. I'm going to let you get back to the video. Bye.
Okay, so without...
Wow, future Ben, I didn't expect you to shave your beard.
No!
Nice try.
Yeah.
So now this is future alternate universe Ben.
Absolutely. I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to Henry Cavill Superman CGI it out now. So without much further ado, Natasha, would you like to kick off our 4th episode of Diceborn?
Absolutely. Let's do a quick recap. And since in magical universe time, we just got done recording the other one.
It's been so long, I don't know if we remember what
so
happened.
long. We have no idea. We have to refer to our long list of notes.
Mm-hmm.
Does someone other than Ben want to take recap?
I can give it a try. I did take notes as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, so at the outset of the session, the group had a plan to infiltrate the auction and steal a mysterious heavy crate that was the crown jewel of this collection, and their client Adora was hoping for them to prevent it from falling into any hands. They obtained a carriage to help them get away potentially, and some syrup of ipecac and salt root to treat some of the hors d'oeuvres and create a distraction. Luka and Royce arrived first as actual attendees of the auctions. Luka flirted with some old ladies and then got ignored by his old friends. And Royce traded some quips with them. Also in attendance, we noticed an Alaran Petrel, who may or may not have some connection to Marelyn, potentially.
He was running security.
Right. And also a Darren Drama was remarked upon as a new up-and-comer from the outskirts of the basin.
Good old Mr. Drama.
Yeah, Mr. Drama. On the other side of things, Marelyn, Dervish, and Hallie infiltrated the caterers. Hallie got noticed for being a little unapproachable and was told to smile more, which she loved. And Dervish noticed a wolfhound walking around, and also a woman he recognized with two men walking around, who we are pretty sure is Jelly, our favorite NPC for whatever reason. I'm trying to think. Auction went ahead, and while he won the unsealed metal mines for his grandma, Luka lost the plates to Mr. Darren Drama. At which point we decided to go ahead with the plan, only for Dervish to run into a familiar face among security. I'm not sure if the rest of us know who this is, but he recognized her as his sister Corell. But luckily, Hallie was able to convince them to take a bite of the tainted shrimp cucumber canapes. And so Corell left and got a little ill. An altercation proceeded in which Dervish landed some hits but was knocked out cold. Because the other guard was a pewter arm. Marelyn did her best to stall until Hallie got there to finish off Dervish's work. And they were left in the room with the crate with no Kolos muscle to get Dervish or the crate out. Meanwhile, during the auction, Royce had a conversation with his aunt via distance with Tin that had some revelations about his father's mysterious death. And his aunt seemed like she might be more of an ally than expected, maybe. We don't know. And then Royce proceeded to intentionally vomit on Beatrice, one of Luka's former friends, as a nice act of sneaky solidarity.
And she did not notice it was me.
And she did not notice it was Royce. And then we ended with Mr. Drama himself, the winner of the plates, entering the room to find an unconscious Dervish, a shocked Marelyn, and a Hallie who is relaying the message from Royce that Darren Drama is Marelyn's father.
Very good. Yeah, so Darren Drama has just shut the door behind him. The lock on the door, of course, was shattered previously by Dervish. So that will only hold momentarily. But the distraction of everyone still exploding in various ways is going on outside the room. And so Mr. Drama, aka Edgard Dramali, looks at Marelyn, shocked, obviously, that you're here. And he goes, "Oh, daughter, what a wonderful surprise."
Hey, Pops, wasn't expecting to see you here.
Yes, it's been quite a while. If I didn't know better, I would have thought that you were avoiding me.
I would never.
Never. And he says, "So, what is it you three are doing here? And he kind of like looks at Dervish on the floor, over at Hallie, and then back to you, Marelyn.
Oh, I'm just checking out the security of this place. Want to make sure it's tip-top for such an important item, and I kind of like pat the box.
Yes, because you're not working for Al anymore.
No, I'm not.
What a terrible thing that you traded so much for that opportunity.
Yes, well, just how life is, full of disappointments. Kind of pointedly, like that full of disappointments is sort of pointedly at him.
And he says, well, luck comes and goes, doesn't it? And he looks at the item of importance and he says, so what is it exactly that you're wanting with this here thing?
I mean, I suppose I'm here for much the same reason you are.
You think you can sell it?
Perhaps. You have a buyer lined up?
He kind of just shrugs and says, honestly didn't really know what I was getting into, but figured it'd be worth a bit if I could get my hands on it. And he goes walking over and he kind of like puts his hands on his hips and says, his wide hips, kind of makes his arms like, go out more of like a T than anything. And he says, what do you figure it is?
I don't know. And I don't really rust and care. I just need to find a way to get it out of here now that this guy, and I kind of like lightly kick Dervish with my foot. Not super hard, but it's like, out of commission.
Yeah, well, that'd be a bit of a trick. Now, what is it?
I don't suppose you have a way of getting it out up your sleeve.
Well, other than waltzing out of here with it myself, which is what I was gonna do regardless, is,
hard
I was
enough.
gonna out of the guard. Well, that one's kind of useless now. But the guards just take it out back.
And wouldn't these guards expect you to pay before they were willing to do that?
See, that is a problem generally. Except for the fact that they're getting paid by someone else. Although we do have the other option of cutting them out altogether.
So what are you proposing? We work together to get this thing out of here?
I'm proposing we don't get it out of here. I'm proposing we hide it somewhere. Come back for it, later.
I suppose. And I kind of like look around, and Dervish still doesn't seem to be stirring, right? Like,
Dervish is kind of rousing, but he's clearly like out of it and groggy. Like he's like, his breath has started changing, and he's like doing that like like trying to get it back.
I suppose it's worth a shot. Don't seem to have any better options at the moment.
Well, good. I'm so glad I can rely on you again.
Of course.
We're gonna hide this thing. Something dies in a place where the people here know it intimately. I mean, it's a nice idea in theory, but in practice...
Well, I figure the ceiling's as good a place as any.
You think they're not going to think to look there?
Not so long as we still leave with the box.
So you're suggesting that you walk out of here with the box anyways, and we just leave what's inside up in the ceiling?
Sure. And when the check bounces, it bounces. And come back here and get it out.
Marelyn's like... I feel like both Marelyn and Eddie right now are like, this person is going to try to screw me over, but I don't know if I have another choice. Alright, might as well open this up and see what's inside. There. Kind of look at the box. Is there a way to like open it?
Oh yeah, it's essentially just nailed in, so you just pop it open with a crowbar or something of sorts. And he says, "Yeah, I've got one of the guards is on my payroll. Well, a couple of them are. So I'm sure we can get this thing up into the ceiling once I find where they've gotten off to."
Why don't you go do that? I'll stay here and watch over it.
Sounds good. Why doesn't your little friend come with me?
Yeah, why don't you keep an eye on him? If that's okay.
And what is your name, darling?
Her name is...
Darling leaves his lips, her eyes just narrow, and sheer venom comes out.
Her name is Edda.
Edda. Right. Well, Edda, you want to come find the rest of my little crew for me?
Sure.
Sounds good.
Like, quietly plotting pretend murder in her mind.
So you two step out into the hallway. And he shuts the door behind him. Around this time, Dervish, you completely come to.
Go. My head. I look around and I see the guard on the ground and I see Marelyn and I'm like, oh, wasn't expecting you to finish him off for me, Marelyn, but I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I kind of get up and I'm like, oh.
And blood is just
pouring now.
Caked at this point.
have you got a tissue or a handkerchief?
I imagine I have a napkin. I'm pretending to be a server, so
yeah, I'll wipe a bit of it away, and then I kind of look at the big box. You've opened the box now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm like, don't know how.
So
I could, yeah.
slight complication.
Oh no.
Eddie is here. You would know because you worked with us that is my dad.
Yes, I do. Yes. Oh, Eddie. Oh, yeah. Okay. Ooh.
So he was here to steal the same thing we are. So Hallie went with him, and we're going to be temporarily working together to hide the thing inside somewhere in the building, so that they can.
You're thinking, dang it! I had advice on that, and I can't give it to you because he dragged me away.
And we're gonna box. Once this thing is out, we're gonna close up the box, and hopefully no one notices until later that it's not in, and we can sneak back in to grab the sheet later.
Like hide it with the buffet tables. Take the plate out separate.
I kind of look up at the roof of the box, and I'm like, it's not the best idea in the world, but I guess it'll do in a pinch. Okay. Now
it's not like we have any other options for taking this thing out of here on our own.
Yeah, no, I am. I can barely feel my limbs. I need to lie down. Okay. I kind of look around the rest of the room, and I'm like, grab some stuff while we're in here.
Yeah. Grab some valuables.
Yeah.
I start just slowly go through boxes because I am holding my head, and I'm like, oh, what have we got?
Yeah, so you're finding various items. For the most part, the things that you are able to carry out easily is going to be that jewelry, right? So you can kind of, just gather that up and shove it in pockets. Most of it seems like common, jewelry, just nice, pendants and, earrings and bracelets and, whatnot. However, you do find, and I don't know if this was mentioned to you by Marelyn and Luka, but you do find the pendant with the glass shard.
Okay.
I kind of turn to Marelyn and be like, if we're hiding the plate in the roof, we probably actually don't want to take anything because we don't want people to think that the place has been robbed.
Well, no, that's the point, is they're leaving with the box and hiding the plate so that they think the box everything in the box was stolen.
Oh, okay, that is got ya. Okay, cool. That's a great idea then. In that case, I don't say that, and I just start grabbing stuff, including the necklace with the thing.
Okay. So you're just kind of filling your pockets.
Mm-hmm.
Quick jump to Luka, who you have realized that Mr. Drama has left the room. You have also caught sight of Rafe, who doesn't seem to have eaten any of this noxious food, and he seems to be in search of his fiancée.
Ooh, what do I do? Luka's just gonna kind of keep an eye on Rafe. Not go up to him, but it's an open room kind of. So he's just kind of move. So he's kind of keeping Rafe in his line of vision.
Okay. Yeah, and Rafe is this really he's a really good looking man, really well dressed sort of fellow with kind of this gorgeous blonde hair, and his kind of signature, right, is that he wears this ascot and then this lovely ascot pin, and Luka knows that this is a pin that has been handed down, from throughout his family for like generations. It's kind of, a pride and joy. And he is always wearing that thing whenever he gets a chance. But yeah, Luka just kind of keeps him in his sights, and this does require Luka to, kind of like exit the ballroom when Rafe does, and Rafe is, kind of looking down hallways looking for Beatrice.
Okay. As he's exiting, I guess I'll just kind of look for Royce, just to check in on what Royce is doing before.
Royce ain't doing so well.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, when you locate Royce, it's not hard to locate Royce. It's not like he's managed to make it too far out of the ballroom. He's just kind of,
indisposed.
His reputation wasn't very high to begin with, and it's definitely going down by the way that he's like carrying himself at this particular moment.
Yeah.
But like aggregate, a lot of people's reputations are going down. So
Yeah.
like, relatively, he's like staying neutral.
Very, very few people are noticing his particular reputation, but definitely it might be clouding your vision of him a little bit.
Okay. I think once Rafe kind of starts getting like farther away, Luka's gonna be like, "Come on, man, get your head in the game." And he's gonna just try to find like one of the like higher ups in the caterers, and start publicly reprimanding them. Like, what's going on here? Was it? It's not something in our food, is it? Like, like kind of just.
Very good. Yeah. So you
shellfish.
You give the head caterer like a thorough reaming, and they are just like, so sorry, Master Lariel. Like, we'll have it taken care of. We'll make sure everything is corrected, and that the reputation is upheld. And please, give me some time. I do need to deal with this. I will be happy to let you yell at me as much as you want later.
Well, and I understand these things happen, of course, but they also cannot be, accepted when they do happen, because it's just. And why did we have shrimp? Like, awful decision. It's an auction. Not a party.
It's the finger food. It's small enough, and beef on skewers is just so unseemly. But I do understand. It will not happen again. I am so very sorry. Please, may I go deal with this? Perhaps call in some medical professionals.
Yes, you should call in some medical professionals, and we're gonna need. We should get our food out of here. Like, we don't want anyone else eating anything else until we get to the bottom of this.
Okay. Yes. I will have the servers all package it up immediately. Of course.
Okay.
Of course. Yes. So she scuttles off and goes to take care of that. Royce is retching. Let's come back to Hallie. So Hallie, you and Eddie, Papa Dramali, are walking down the hallway, and he's just kind of nonchalantly pushing doors open, peeking inside. Every once in a while he apologizes, but he apologizes, in this kind of like, "Oh, sorry, ma'am, like, my apologies, like, you seem indisposed at the moment. Please continue what you're doing." and shuts the door and continues on. And eventually he comes to a room and opens it, and you see a very large Koloss woman in there. And she has her head is shaved, and across it are several scars. She also has a major scar that kind of runs the length of her face. And
I've already seen this woman.
And disappears into her shirt. This is the first time that you're getting like a really full frontal face.
Yeah, but
and and she's kind of seeming to get her wits about her. Obviously she's been sick. And oh yeah, you gave her the canopy, so you have really seen her. And she kind of, is straightening herself. It looks like she's like at one point just like pulled off her shirt so she doesn't vomit on it. And she's like struggling back into it and pulling it back on. And she just looks over at you two and she's like, yeah, that'd make sense.
Sometimes the best thing to say in response is nothing at all.
So you're just staying quiet. And
this is Daddy
Eddie
Mayor Box's show right now.
Yes. And so Eddie looks at Corell and he says, so we've got a bit of a wrinkle. Looks like there's this other crew that showed up. Good thing for you, though, it makes my end of the deal all very easy. But I'm gonna need you to keep it cool, keep it, your anger issues under control until we all get out of here. And she just kind of gives him a once over and says, if what I think is going on, I'm not making any promises.
Oh no. Guys, my sister is a dangerous woman.
Aren't all sisters?
It's true, we are.
Maybe not to this level. And Eddie goes, now, look. I promised you information, and you're clearly getting the information that you want, but you also have to hold up your end of the job, which is that I get, the goods out of here in a position that I like, relatively safely. And without notice. And she's like, two Koloss fighting. It'll draw attention, right? And he's like, no, I don't think you understand. We need you to lift the thing and put it in the ceiling. Like, you and your strength, you have to do that. And this kind of continues back and forth in this very, tenuous sort of way, right? He's in charge, but obviously it's kind of like hanging by a thread in charge. And eventually she says, yeah, I'll help you get it in the ceiling, but after that, I promise nothing.
Meanwhile, Hallie's just been sort of hanging out near the door, ready to run if she has to.
And he just goes, yeah, okay, I can deal with that. And he just turns and walks out he goes, hey, you, little one, let's go.
Yeah, little one isn't any better than darling.
And he just kind of ignores you and keeps going.
Fingers twitch towards the crest. This is Marelyn's father. She probably doesn't want me to crack his skull open. Wait, that's actually something that would stop me. Yeah.
Yeah, so Hallie and Karel follow Eddie back to the room.
Well, this is going to get exciting really fast.
And the door opens to, Dervish loading his pockets and Marelyn, loading hers or, various places on her person.
Marelyn was probably a little bit more restrained and only kind of took a couple choice things that looked the most valuable and isn't like stuffing her pockets the way Dervish is.
Okay, valid.
I'm sure he has bigger pockets.
Yeah.
More space, yeah. And the door opens, and of course, Eddie comes in, Hallie comes in, and then behind them, Karel comes in, and she just immediately, her whole form takes up the doorway.
Oh, rust and ruin. Does the guard on the floor have a weapon on him?
He does. He has a dueling cane.
Okay. I look at it. I don't make any movements. You're gonna have to give me a second.
And her eyes flick from yours down to the dueling cane and back at you. And she doesn't move either.
Marelyn is going to swallow some brass. She's not going to burn it just yet, but she wants that ready.
Yeah. I lock eyes with her. Carol?
Dervish?
To what do I owe this pleasure?
You really didn't think I would come kill you?
I mean, I kind of did. That's one of the reasons I've been avoiding you.
Sure.
Okay. I look at does oh no, because the other guy's not gonna have any guns on him, is he? I really want a gun right now. Okay. Now look, I know you want to kill me. I get it. But father had to die. Do you not understand that?
In the proper time and place.
Proper time and place. That is a load of Harmony's Zone right testicle. That is. The time and place was my choosing, and I chose then and there, and I did the deed that I was born to do. You cannot. Do you understand?
I'm going to have you roll charm.
Okay.
And this is to not piss her off and to get her to talk more.
Okay. What's the difficulty? 5, I assume?
For it to not piss her off and for her to talk more, it's a 3.
Go. Oh, that's 4. That's 3 4s and a nudge. Oh,
nice.
Good for you.
Yeah.
She seems to be like you can see like that rage tremble in her shoulders. But you can tell that she's changed a little bit since you last were around her, and that she has this her driven calm has like settled into her.
Okay.
In a way that most cult Koloss do not have. or coldest-blooded do not have.
Yeah.
And she says, and when you left, who stepped up as leader?
Look, I had to go. You know, Mother would have killed me. You know, immediately. That would have happened, and so I fled. Yeah, I get it. I fled. Okay, right? You can't. I wasn't. The life we had wasn't good, Carol. It wasn't good.
For you. For you.
It wasn't for any of us. You guys didn't know what it was like to be under their thumb like that, and to be woken up and just fighting all the time. Okay, you guys got to go out. You got to get jobs. You got to make friends. I got none of that.
Until you left.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do?
Well, I'm gonna kill you so I can finally use the spikes. And she, slaps her hip. And at her hip, there's a bag. And it clinks with metal.
Okay, so let me get this straight. And Hallie jumps in because there's a shit ton of tension, and she's like, I'm probably not gonna make it better, but at least I don't think she can make it worse. So his life sucked, and yours didn't. And then he left, and then yours had to suck to take his place, and you're blaming him instead of the people who made your life suck?
And she just looks at Dervish and she says, why don't you explain?
Okay. The people who made our lives suck was our parents. We were,
which, that can happen, but still, so again, I'm saying he goes, hey, my life sucks. Maybe I'm gonna get the hell out of here. And you decide that instead of going, gee, that was a smart move, you're pissed at him for getting the hell out of a life that sucked. When in fact, it was probably the smartest thing to do.
I'm not pissed at him for leaving. I'm pissed at him for killing our father before it was time, and then for not doing the duty that came with that.
I didn't know what was going to happen afterwards. I thought you guys would link up with a larger clan, or,
Yeah, that, Mom wouldn't take on the spikes instead.
Or Mom, yeah.
Because that doesn't,
Wait,
Mom.
The
whole spike thing is just going completely over Hallie's head, so she's still
Marelyn? Oh.
There you go.
Marelyn kind of leans down towards Eddie and kind of whispers in his ear, I thought our relationship was rusted. Look at them.
And Eddie's just like, shh, don't anger them.
Wait, did you say Mom took on the spikes?
And she just lets that hang.
Rusts! What happened? What happened?
I did what I was supposed to.
Then they're yours. Then they're yours. I've forsaken that life. I've forsaken that claim. They're your spikes. You do what you need to do. They're yours now. You don't need to involve me anymore. Go back home. Go to the Roughs.
While you are still alive, no one will honor me in that way. And you know it just as well as I do.
This is why I hated it out there. These rules that the other Kolos tribes come up with, it just
So, let's get this thing in the ceiling so I can kill you.
Alright.
Or
right.
you could just go back and say you did and not.
Even I look at Hallie like come on.
You really don't think I'm supposed to bring proof?
Take his hair.
Take his head.
That sounds rude.
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay. So the tension is at like an all-time high in the room as like ceiling tiles are being removed from the roof of the place. Meanwhile, outside, I'm going to have one. I need Royce to roll me a physique.
Okay.
And unfortunately, this is a difficulty 3, so I realize this is very difficult for you. I'm very sorry.
I mean, I did this fully knowing what I was doing.
You
so
did
that
this
is,
to yourself.
yes. So that is one nudge, and nudges don't carry over between sessions, correct?
No.
Okay. So I'm at one nudge.
Okay.
It's been so long since the last session, we can't remember how many we had, you know?
Yeah.
And Luka, I need you to roll me a spirits roll.
Okay.
And the challenge is a 2.
Do any of my things help me? For spirit?
Probably not.
Okay. Roll 2 dice, so.
Hey! 2 4s.
Excellent. Okay. So you see that Alaran Petrel has just stopped vomiting. And has flicked back his hair again, and he's straightening his tie and dusting himself off, and heading back, and starting to gather up some guards to head back to check on things.
And I know he's like the security guy, right?
Yes, you were there
Right.
when you found that out.
Yeah. So I'm gonna march up to him in an officious kind of way and say, "Excuse me, Lord Petrel, can we have a word?"
Can't you see I'm dealing with something here?
Yes. Well, I'm also dealing with something here. You know, there are people vomiting everywhere. It is very disgusting, and I think people are going to think it's the food, and I just don't think that's the case. I don't know what kind of operation you guys are running here, what you've allowed into the space, but something is going on, and I would like to be fully informed of what it is, because I need to look into these catering people. I need to get this all figured out. It's an absolute disaster.
Okay, roll me a charm.
Okay.
It'd be a charm of 2.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think any of my. So my drive is to emulate the former crew leader. So since I'm kind of like bluffing my way, or trying to like bluff a security guy, maybe that's what he would do.
I can lean into it. Okay.
Okay. So I'll 4 charm plus 1 is 5. Three nudge.
Okay. So he says, okay. as far as I know, there's nothing that my staff could have done to have caused this, unless, one of my rioters or something has, I don't know. And he says, I will be thoroughly looking into my staff. However, my immediate concern is the security of the items that we have. I can, to help with your situation, if you would like, I will have, a couple of my soothers help, tamper down the situation at hand.
Well, and if you have some spare hands, have some humanity, could we circulate some blankets and some warm rags, get some people some water? We just need personnel. And my people are occupied getting all the food out of here just in case, and I'm doing what I can.
He goes, whoa, why would we get the food out of here? The food needs to be inspected.
We don't want a repeat if this is, tied to
why
the food.
Are you
I don't
eating
know.
The food?
Well, I don't know.
Right? That would be the logical conclusion, is that the food is contaminated in some way. So don't eat the food. It doesn't need to be taken away. It needs to be inspected. There are some people who will not turn down an appetizer no matter what has happened in this crowd. We'll secure the food so it cannot be further tampered with. It can be inspected after the fact, so it's not, but we just don't want it out there, and we don't want anything to go missing either, right?
The beauty of it is it was only 2 trays of food, and they were probably already all disseminated to people.
Absolutely.
I try to draw their attention there. And also, you said some of the items might be at risk. Is this a heist? Are my grandmother's purchases going to be okay?
I would like to go assure that. Will you let me go do that?
Well, then get to it, and please prioritize. And he starts going through
and Alarin is just like, yes, I assure you, I will make sure all of the purchases have been accounted for and are protected, and please just let me do my job.
Thank you, sir. You're such a dependable man. I appreciate your service. Thank you. And then
yes, he just kind of mimes you out of the way at this point, and he begins giving orders to several people, trying to escape the conversation with you so he can actually do something. But you have provided a distraction. So you, the 3 of you that are in the room, you managed to get the plate into the ceiling and reseal everything up.
While we're doing that, I'd like to ask Carol, so where's Sunny right now?
She says, he's manufacturing weapons.
In the city?
No. There's after I took Mom's spikes, and after a couple raids went bad, Sunny, I, and some of the cousins ended up joining another clan, a rather large one out in the roughs. It's ruled by a rather terrifying woman.
Yeah, I know a few of those.
And she just gives you like this like kind of look.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, she says metalworking.
Cool.
But yeah, you get the plate into the ceiling, and manage to seal it up for the most part. There are some, kind of the way that the ceiling is constructed is like tiles set up into it, and they're like suspended by metal cross beams. And so, you're doing your best to kind of make it look normal again. And I'm going to need a roll from someone to do that.
But to make it look nice.
What sort of role would
Yeah.
it be? Like what?
Yeah.
Or wits.
Feels more
I actually don't know.
witsy.
Like,
Cause it's like care, isn't it? It's like
Can
I
I
have a call.
can I say it's wits to kind of like, so Marelyn is kind of like memorizing what it looked like before they messed with it and can kind of like direct people on how to like fix it afterwards.
Yeah.
And do wits
that
for
could
that.
definitely. Are you hoping to give a bonus die to like help, or
What-
are you
what I'm
hoping to
thinking
make
is-
the roll it to yourself?
So both Marelyn and I have pretty high wits.
Mhm.
So if my wits is 6.
Oh damn! Oh
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Uh,
Yours is higher. Oh.
okay.
I was just trying.
what I'm thinking is that Dervish can boost me up on his shoulders, and I can arrange things and like have Marelyn sort of guiding me from below as an assist to make sure everything's in the right place.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
So
Please good
my
at
6
fixing
plus
things.
her 1 die for the assist.
Yeah, so that'll make 7. And it'll be a 3 difficulty. And I am going to also, have you make sure that you don't have anything that you can add to that, like traits or.
I mean, I don't know that my mechanic ability is really gonna.
Well, you're kind of like fixing things, like you're fixing the ceiling.
I would say that your pure chemi could potentially come in handy.
My
If
heat?
you're like welding things back in place and like.
Oh, well, I didn't know that we were putting.
It's
we were
metal.
ripping things that part that hard. I was imagining this is just like standard ceiling tiles, but yeah, I can probably do a spot weld or at least like heat things up enough to bend them back into place if they got.
Yeah, sure.
Because you might have even had to have bent them to get the plates. Like I'm not
mean,
sure
the plate,
how wide.
Right, the ceiling tiles are probably smaller than the plate itself. Right. So there's definitely going to be some jimmying that's
then
needed.
My ferrochemy would definitely help there. You just have to tell me how many charges I need to spend.
Yeah, for sure. How many charges do you have currently stored?
I usually run about half of my capacity, so I got around 150.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have you burn so about 30 charges.
Okay.
Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah. Alright. And then I still need to make a roll.
That's 7 dice. It is a 3 difficulty.
Oh, got a 3.
Very good. Yeah, so you guys get it into the ceiling, and the ceiling looks pretty much as it was before, right? And Corel, just for good measure, she like kicks over a couple boxes and like sweeps some stuff onto the floor and just makes it really look like it's been a smash and grab. And she's clearly taking out some of this collected anger on what's here. And she kind of, looks at Marelyn and at Hallie and at Eddie and goes, I suggest you leave now.
I say, hold up. Okay. 2 things. 1, if you want to do this properly, you've got to name the time and place. And before you say here and now, you kill me here and now, the Connells will come get you, they'll arrest you, they'll lock you up. You'll never ever see the Ruffs again. No, it'll be pointless. And 2, if you kill me here and now, you'll never get Father's sword back. I have that. I have it hidden. And if you want it, and I know you want it, I need to go get it.
Be a charm. It's a 2 difficulty. Like I said, she is a very smart Kola.
0 with 2 nudges.
Hey. She says nothing and just continues to stare Dervish down.
Hallie will kind of tug on his elbow. Let's just get the hell out of here.
Whose elbow you're?
Dervish's.
Oh, he's not leaving.
But I'm also 0 health.
I'm going to. I think this is what I'm going to try to soothe.
Okay. It's a good idea.
I am going to.
Glad she hasn't actually put those spikes in.
Try to soothe. See, the thing is, her anger is so strong. I don't know if that's the emotion that would be best to try to soothe. But I don't know what else.
Impatience.
I mean, you can soothe multiple emotions at once.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I try to like focus on like her impatience more so than like just direct anger?
Yeah. I'm going to make that a 53.
Okay. I don't know if I can I argue for something for like to get an addition. So one of my traits is danger sense. Since this is like a very tense situation, can I add that?
Absolutely. And I'll even let you use that more in like you know exactly where to soothe her to decrease the danger.
Yeah. Okay. 6 days total.
Nice.
And what was the difficulty again?
3.
3? Okay.
Oh.
3s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 0 nudges, yes.
Outside there's kind of the sounds are shifting, right? Outside it's kind of like less chaos, it's more, people kind of gathering their wits. And her eyes have not left Dervish. And she says, how do I know you'll show up?
If I understand that you don't trust me to show up, that's an understandable worry, but if I don't, I'm currently staying at the Brass Ladle. So if you want to come find me, that's where I'll be.
It makes a noise that doesn't sound very happy.
You can ask these two.
Yeah, and given the noise, that doesn't sound very happy. You know, she kind of looks at Hallie and she looks at Marelyn and she says, "You don't show up, I will kill everyone in this room."
That's fair enough. Fine by me.
Royce and Luka are fine.
and then she says, "1 month. Old Homestead."
Okay. I could do that.
And she just kicks open the door and walks
Uh!
Now, at this point, Marelyn's gonna kind of turn to the people who are still in the room and be like, "Come on, we need to leave now, or we're gonna get caught."
We need to leave.
Yeah, and so you
Skedaddle.
Skedaddle, and make your way back to the kitchens. And it's very nice that everything is being, all packed up, and kind of all the catering gear is being, put into vehicles, and you're able to just kind of, dismiss yourselves quickly with that route of escape without an issue. And Edgar himself, right, taking on the role of Mr. Drama, he sticks around rather than leaving with you all.
Marelyn does not like that, but there is nothing she can do necessarily.
I don't know, I'm still reeling from the fact I was knocked out a few minutes ago. Should I ham it up?
I realized I just figured out what I should have done with the plate. It would have ruined it forever, but...
Oh, let's see where your brain's going. It's a terrible idea.
No, it's a fantastic idea. Just ruin all the etching. It would get our clients... It'd suit our clients' needs just fine.
Because the assignment was make sure it's never seen. Oh, that's...
We hadn't even considered that.
I will allow Hallie, if you want to stick around and risk that.
I mean, I think it's a fantastic idea. Then we don't have to worry about coming back and stealing it. I got no problems with ruining that important piece of history. I was like, everyone watching this episode right now is like, how could you? It's one of the Lord Ruler's information plates. It was so important.
Yeah.
And technically, Hallie, I'm going to point this out because I'm a gracious GM. You could not tell the others. That would be well within character.
I mean, at some point, I'll let them know that I did it, but just not right here
but you could just hang back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm up there literally setting all this stuff up, so I can sit there. I have my pinpoint heat stunt where it's going to take a lot of charges, but
so to retcon that, it would have taken a lot more rolls because that is going to have to be stealthy on your part. What I'm offering you now is to stay behind while Dervish and Marelyn leave with the catering stuff. Right. Sneak back in there afterwards. You know where it is, and then burn it off.
It's not so much burning it off as it is melting the metal enough that all the etching is unreadable.
Right.
But
lost forever to history.
You memorized it.
No one else knows that, though.
My character knows that, but she's like, I don't really know my character has no idea what the actual importance of this plate is. I mean, she looked at it probably. Whatever. But yeah, I mean, I think...
I say do it.
Yeah, I think it's something that would have occurred to her to do because, we're sitting in there spending a whole lot of time putting it
absolutely.
Up there. And she's like, instead of trying to break back in here and stealing it before Marelyn's father does, why don't I just make it useless? And then our client is happy. We're happy.
Quick question. Because, like, obviously, like, this is sort of like a drop ceiling. Like, there's space above it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
That's
space
exactly what it is.
accessible from another room? Because, like, she was up there. Like, she would have been able to, like, see what's up there.
I mean,
she probably just
break through the floor.
Yeah,
like,
she would have
but
just done it on the spot,
right?
And made a big show of trying to get everything back perfect, because she's already using her feruchemy to fix things, so it doesn't take that much more.
See, I don't think I'm going to allow that as a GM to retcon that, to go back and to have said that you just did that, because that would have taken not only the, burning the charges to actually do it, but also then you would have had to roll to conceal that from everyone who is watching you actively, right, and helping you. Okay. What I'm suggesting to be done is that, you can go back now, right,
and pop up into one of the... I mean, really, all I have to do is just, like, go in, pop up into the ceiling, and just hang out there until everyone goes home.
It's a very simple... Yeah, it's a very simple plan. It's not one that I think you will have difficulty with at all. Retconning it will be more difficult as far as the plan itself, but also that, that scene.
So, yeah, it makes it... She's just going to slip back in there and hop back in the ceiling. Close the tile after her, because she's small and very lightweight.
Yeah.
So
yes, absolutely. I think that is a totally doable plan. To not be noticed, I'm going to have you roll me what is it? Physical? Physique. It's a 1 challenge.
Okay. And can I use the fact that I am petite to add an extra die to that roll?
You may.
Sword.
That is perfect.
What was the challenge again?
It was a difficulty one. I just I never remember to set the difficulty.
We got a 1.
Hey, perfect.
Green. For everyone watching, pretend it's green.
So pretty much everything quiets down. The night wraps up. Luka is busy, holding his cover, bossing everyone around. Eventually, Royce stops retching,
And can Luka also try to do some, like, damage control to try to, like, make it so the Alariels don't get, like, blowback from this?
Sure, yeah. I'm gonna want you to roll me
the food that's left, they're gonna test it and they're not gonna find anything.
What's
all the painted stuff.
Influence.
Influence?
I want you to roll me influence.
Okay.
And that is going to be a 3 influence.
3.
Or difficult.
Can I use my, like, good at first impressions trait to get a dice, kind of? Like, no? Okay.
No.
Yeah.
You've met these people.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, influence is 6, so I'll just go with that. And difficulty 3, you said?
Nice. A 4.
Okay.
So excellent. Yeah, so you manage... It is a long night. You are there, past everyone else, Surprisingly, it has not yet come out that the auction items have been thrashed. However, you can see that Alren is otherwise preoccupied in his mind, and you lean into that. And, when the food is all tested by the medical staff that comes in, and nothing is found to have been an issue with the food itself, the catering staff is, dismissed, and, it's resolved that the catering themselves was not at fault here. and that if something was done, it was done directly to the food rather than being like food poisoning or something like that. Well, yeah. And Dervish and Hallie, you return back home, or not back home, but back probably to the Brass Ladle is probably where you all are going to.
How many more ferrochemy charges did I need to spend to totally destroy that plate?
100.
All right.
Damn. I'll say.
It's big, and you're melting it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just melting the surface enough to where it's no longer legible. But yeah.
Is Marelyn with us as well?
Yes, and Marelyn is. So sorry, Dervish and Marelyn go back to the Brass Ladle. Yeah. Hallie is hidden. Royce, I'm assuming, eventually returns there as well, leaving Luka to deal with things.
I mean, Royce is going to go home. Like, he can't meet up with anybody right now.
Probably Hallie doesn't come down till Luka's actually about ready to leave. She just leaves with him.
Yeah. Okay. So we will say that night kind of, brings itself to a little wrap up. And where would we like to pick up?
I'll say, could I have a conversation with Marelyn before
Absolutely.
the evening ends? So we're in the Brass Ladle. I've got an ice pack over my nose. And I'm just be like, so secret's out now, I guess.
So what's this old homestead we need to get you to?
It'll be the last home that we had before I left. It'll either be that or be the home that we burned before I left. Life wasn't good in the roughs, and so we had to make hard choices. But I didn't like that. And so one day near the end, we burnt down a nice. My father killed a nice family. They were good to us. They gave us food and shelter, and he didn't like that. He said compassion has no place in the world, and for that he burned their house down and killed them. And so I can only assume she means then. She means there, because later that night, that's when I killed him. So
I'm not going to let your sister kill me for your choices. You don't choose to go there, I'll drag you there myself.
Meanwhile, man, it's all it's too bad that Hallie's not there, because she's just going to be like, no freaking way, you're not doing this. We closed down the Brass Ladle. We're going to go underground. Screw this.
No, I'm planning on going. I run away from my problems for too long, and
yeah, Hallie's going to have words with you about that later.
Yeah, so and so it's not really what I wanted with my life, but none of us really get what we want from our lives, do we?
No, we don't. No. There's like this obvious just bitterness in her voice.
Well, I hope I did some good here before I have to go back there, because I'll tell you now, I don't think I'm walking away from that fight.
Before we go, though, we're going to have to deal with Eddie. Going to try to screw us over and get that plate before.
Good old Eddie.
He's going to try to screw us over and get that plate back before we can, so.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I wonder about that. What happened to Hallie anyway?
Smash cut to her burning.
Don't mind me. I'm just up there melting some steel.
Okay. So things simmer down, right? Night passes. Everyone probably heads home. Royce doesn't show up back at the Brass Ladle for obvious reasons. And as GM, I'm going to make the call that you all will talk about things later than when he can be present. And so I'm going to essentially say that there is a short beat. Kind of where you're resting, everyone is decompressing, letting, people essentially go to ground, cool off. It eventually, yes.
I would like to use this time to gain a stunt using my advancements, please.
Oh, okay. Yes, perfect.
I would like to gain the stunt Rapid Healing. Because you gain 1 health a day back, and that's going to take me 10 days to get my health back. But with Rapid Healing, I gain 2 back, and then during short and long rests, I gain another back as well.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so that'll do. Your body is quickened a little bit there. It's great. And a few days later, right, the plan is to all meet back at the Brass Ladle. Dervish, surprisingly, you haven't heard hide or hair of your sister or of Eddie after this point. Despite them both knowing where you're at. And the, day comes where you're all meeting up again. And before this happens, Dervish, you're serving lunch, and everything. And Slim Jimmy.
Yeah.
Slim Jimmy comes on in, just being himself.
Yeah.
Nattering away, talking to everyone he sees. And he comes up to you and he says, "Hey, chef. I got some information for you. Let's head in the back and let's talk. Let's jam this thing up."
All right, let's go. Let's do this. So I take him round the back.
Yeah, and when you go around the back, is when that kind of, his kind of energy vibing, facade kind of tamps down. And he says, "So, whatever's happening with people disappearing is not, it's not just happenstance. I found out from some of the,
the types you run with, I don't.
Yeah, that the records of the constables say that there are these massive holes left in the bodies that they've found."
And as a Colossus-blooded, I have a rudimentary knowledge of hemalurgy, so this really sparks my interest.
Uh-huh.
Is there any other whereabouts have they been turning up? Is it just random places, or is it? What else have you heard?
Mostly around, the general. I mean, where we hang out. But there have also been, a couple bodies here or there, washing up in canals.
Yeah.
Particularly around the university.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna look into this. You know, these Connors, they're not gonna do anything for us. So okay, I'll have to. Is there anyone you can recommend I talk to?
He kind of shrugs and he says, I can point you in the direction of, like, you know, a couple Connors who have the information, you know, the documents, the records, you know, the medical staff in charge of the slicing. But
okay, talking to Connors won't do no good. Okay. All right. Well, man, it's a rough life we live, isn't it? Hey, Jimmy.
Yep.
Oh.
But gotta keep living.
Gotta keep living. You're not wrong. That's good. That's a good. You're not wrong there,
And he
Jimmy.
he kind of claps you on the shoulder and he's like, "Well, I got places to be. See you around."
See you around. And you know, as I said before last time, appreciate you bringing this to me. I'll do what I can. I've not turned anything up so far, but I've been trying. Don't you worry. I've been trying.
Yeah. And then he kind of just, you know, trails off, and you know, you can kind of hear that he's quiet for a bit as he like walks back out, and then, you know, very soon thereafter, you know, his voice kind of enters conversation again, and he's back at it.
Okay. Cool. I'll go back to serving lunch, but then I think I'm just gonna stop, and I'm gonna just ask someone to take over, and I'm just gonna head upstairs, and I'm just gonna find a little quiet room to take some time to myself.
Right. Presumably, we are all going to get back together at some point.
Yeah, this is the day of that, so
Yeah.
I was just kind of like leading into it. So he'll just be up there when all of you arrive.
I have an important question. Was the fact that your safe house, where you're staying, has been shared with somebody who we do not trust and may wish to do us harm or inconvenience, shared up to those of us who are not in the room?
No, you guys haven't seen each other yet.
Okay.
Right? Only like Marelyn and Hallie would know.
I completely forgot that Eddie was in the room as well. I'm sitting there and I'm like, shoot, that was not a good idea.
So are we meeting there?
Yes. Oh, right. God, yeah. Are we still meeting there?
Mm-hmm.
We're potentially meeting in an alternate location.
Where else would you meet?
Luka at Lariel's flat.
I mean, no.
Luka would love to have people over. But
plausible deniability.
Yeah, right.
Hallie's not letting you all near her parents.
Yeah. I think
Luka and Royce are going to come to the Brass Ladle when the appointed time arrives, unless they're told to go somewhere different.
I think we just stay there and then we'll work out what to do.
Okay. So everyone arrives, you know, trickling into the Brass Ladle. And, you know, Leah, as normal, has, you know, made sure there's water, especially when Dervish has kind of disappeared for the length of the afternoon. You know, she brings up the water early, but doesn't say anything and just kind of, you know, leads you to it after that.
Yeah, I'm very much in my head right now. You know, I'm not.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you don't share much anyway.
Exactly.
So yeah, everyone meets up.
In the downtime, we don't need to like go there, but I probably would have just reported to Grandma like what happened. But that I like kept things under control, and I got
Yeah, that's going to be a scene that we will need to play out. So I'm going to say that will happen hereafter. She has not yet requested your appearance, which seems odd to you.
Gotcha.
So it's whether or not you would choose to show up without being called upon.
I would inquire with her, with what's his name, Chester, about setting up a meeting, because I wouldn't just barge in and see what he.
So Chester gives you a time for morning tea, which is the day after this meeting.
Sounds good. So yeah, as they're walking in, Luka's going to be probably chatting Royce's ear off, and he's going to be saying, I think it went pretty well, all things considered. I think I was able to deflect quite a bit of attention, and Beatrice got barfed on, which is hilarious. I really don't know if it could have gone better.
Royce does, Royce still looks a little pale from that whole ordeal.
He has
a physique of 2.
Yeah, he has a physique of 2,
Constitution days later is like...
Yeah, it was not a pleasant experience for him. He's definitely like, oh, that was a mistake. That was definitely a mistake. Oh, God. Oh, Harmony.
I told you not to eat it.
But
that was 100% in character. She comes and sees you still looking pale. It's like, I told you not to eat it.
The sake of the cover. Cover is paramount. But on the walk over, he's just doing a lot of nodding, to Luka's whole. Royce has learned just to let Luka talk.
Yeah.
Luka is perfectly happy carrying a conversation.
Oh, totally. Luka's the post D&D session, and then we did this, and it was totally believe me, and
Anyway, Hallie sits down with the usual crooked stack of flips.
Okay. What was I? Would Luka, would you have the metal mind by now? Or would Luka have the metal mind by now?
Or would that have been delivered?
Would I have stolen it? I would have stolen it, wouldn't I?
If you had access to it, probably.
Yeah, cool. Awesome.
Oh, so that was one of the things you stole.
Yeah.
At least it got stolen before you paid for it.
So Luka will look and say, things went okay on our end. Did we get it?
Not quite. Marelyn, why don't you give us the rundown of what happened? I was not conscious the whole evening.
Well, Dervish got knocked out attempting to disable the guards. We were able to sneak into the room with the valuables with the guards fully disabled, but unfortunately there was another crew there. So we made a uneasy alliance to stash it within the room and return to it later to sell and split the profits. Of course, we will have to find some way of double-crossing the other crew when that point comes, but...
Yeah. It's already been 2 days, I'm getting worried.
It's already handled.
Oh?
Our client, all she really wanted was for that information to not be available to anyone, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I snuck in afterwards and melted the whole face.
Hallie, you little firecracker, this is why you're here.
So he can go take it whenever he wants. It's not worth anything anymore.
You destroyed what was likely a priceless historical artifact.
I mean, that was in one of, she did literally say that, if we can't get it, then make sure that no one else can.
Yeah, it was. She did say that.
I don't suppose you made a rubbing, a copy of some sort before you did so?
I didn't exactly have the materials.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I would have loved to.
Out of character. This from the guy who has a copy.
I would have loved to have known what was on there.
Yeah, it really is a shame. It was a gorgeous, piece, antique.
Giant hunk of steel.
And that would be why I'm here.
Oh.
It was on full display.
Did you store it in your metal mind?
Hallie chuckles. Of course she did.
Royce just smiles.
Mr. Pretending to be mad at me. Hallie is actually looking for once like she's enjoying herself. This never happens.
Royce will just give the very doesn't say anything but just smirk.
And have we heard in the aftermath that stuff was stolen, or do we know is it public that the plate is missing, or is that
it's public that the items have many of the items within the auction manifest were stolen during that time. Which particular items has not yet come out.
So Luka will say, I heard, that our cover worked. It looked like a hit and run, smash and grab kind of job. I'm assuming that was us. Did we get anything?
I'll pick a box up that I've got next to me, like a shoebox size, and just kind of push it across the table, and it's just got all the junk that I picked up in it.
Junk.
The junk,
Really
Voice
expensive junk.
Yeah.
Voice is gonna look for the unsealed memo. 100%.
Yeah, it's definitely in there.
Marelyn is going to turn. Marelyn is going to turn to Luka and say, have you heard anything about the nobility's reaction to the security team?
Well, blame. What blame I've heard about seems to be falling on their laps. Have I heard anything else?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You heard that essentially the blame is being placed on them. As far as suspects, right, they ruled out most of the security team, given the fact that most of them, well, at least, Alarin Petrel himself was, heaving.
No one suspects the people that are throwing up. It was a game plan.
Right. But a few of the other, they are looking into the list of the various security guards, which, Alaran has very, very happily provided to make sure that, he is not thrown under the bus as much as possible.
Perhaps you could play up your indignance at this event and have the security team blacklisted from working with the nobles again.
Oh, do we not like the security team?
I can't say I'm a fan.
Is this just one of the things thieves versus security where they're dogs and we hate them, or is this something personal?
Ooh, Marelyn, who wants to go first?
It's it's just something I thought could perhaps be helpful. Going
Happy
forward.
to help. Happy to help. I'm very helpful. So
we appreciate you, Luka. We do.
I'm so glad to hear you say that, because honestly, I felt like I did a really good job this time.
You did,
and I feel like I'm really coming into my own with this whole thing. So
I assume you've been like chatting our ear off about what you did this whole time, and Marelyn is kind of gonna be like, well, I mean, you didn't have to berate the staff that much. It was our fault that like you were getting them in trouble. And it wasn't really fair to those workers to have the blame on them when you knew it wasn't their fault and it was us.
Well, I'll do something nice to make up for it now that they've been cleared and it's been made it clear that it's security's fault. So,
in the meantime, we have a bigger problem.
Yeah.
Our this location has essentially been burned, and we've got about a month to get the hell out.
So,
And we're still meeting here?
I'm sorry, there was a fire?
I unfortunately gave away our location to
which was dumb.
look, okay, that situation I wasn't exactly thinking straight. I'd been knocked out, and my sister is a terrifying woman. And I kind of forgot Eddie was in the room. And so my bad, guys.
Who's Eddie?
The other crew that we encountered.
Her father.
Her father.
Yeah.
Calling her on that one immediately.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Worse than that, Dervish has foolishly agreed to some sort of stupid duel out in the roughs in a month, and we've got to get all of us out of sight and underground to wait that out, because obviously you're not going.
I fully intend
You're
to go.
not going.
I fortunately have decided that I'm going.
I mean,
no, you're going
Dervish
to
is
change your mind now.
super
That's
deadly.
a terrible idea.
You know,
I believe in you, Dervish. I really do.
You see, I tried to hide from my problems before, and they came and found me. And now they've threatened to kill all of you guys. Not you guys, Luka and Royce. Don't worry, you guys are safe. But Hallie and Marelyn, I wouldn't be able to forgive myself if I let you guys come to harm for that.
Is your sister that stupid if she goes and rampages through a bunch of regular humans that she thinks that the constables aren't going to come down on her like Harmony's chunk of bricks?
I get this feeling that she doesn't care that much. You guys don't know my sister. I think she probably cared more about the other thing I mentioned than about the Connors getting her.
She's not very smart, is she?
Yeah, we're not known for our quick wit, you know.
You're clever.
That is a stereotype, Dervish. I think you are very quick-witted, and you have your, leadership in many situations has been appreciated. And look at you. You're so intimidating. You're so tough. I don't know who this sister is, but you're going to wipe the floor with her.
No, this is 100% going to be a trap. So we're going to have to out-trap her.
Okay.
And from beneath the table, a voice comes. Could I come?
No. Who is that?
And Ghost. Ghost is spread out like eagle, holding on to the legs of the table beneath it,
parents.
I pull him out,
and he's just
No, seriously. Does this kid have parents?
Do you know that? I don't think so.
Marelyn is gonna kind of jump in and be like, Ghost, we'll actually need you to have a very important job staying here and keeping an ear out for any information while we're gone to relay back to us.
While we're gone? You guys gonna come with me?
But I want to go!
Ghost, hold up. No. I really appreciate that, guys.
I get to go, or I don't tell you what I know.
I kind of look at him, and I look at Marelyn. I'm like, any help here?
All right, well, then you can stay here and not tell us, and whatever it is that you know that's so important may very well get us killed. Not you.
Will it get me?
And he
killed?
kind of just looks at Dervish.
I mean, if you're willing to let us die because you want to go into danger,
It's just the right thing to do.
how old is this kid?
He's like 12. Like, he's a little punk.
I'm like, I'm still annoyed he's in here.
You have reached the age of the Ascendant Warrior when she killed the Lord Ruler. You don't get to go into danger. Vin was like 17 when that happened.
Just like, but he... And he just points to Luka, and he's like, why does he get to go into danger?
Because he's an adult and is capable of making poor choices. You're a child, and we have to make sure that you live long enough to where you can become an adult and make your own poor choices. Because that's the responsible adults make sure that children don't get themselves killed.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna kind of go down to his level, and I'm like, look, Ghost, we've got our own things that we need to sort out. You know, we've all got to go through life on our own little paths. So we're gonna go take one, and I want you to stay here. I want you to find your own path instead of coming with us. But if you have information that you think we need, you really shouldn't keep that from us.
Perhaps you would like something in return for that information. I'll kind of like nudge Luka to like pull out some money.
What?
You know, and this young man Ghost is a little entrepreneur. I'm sure he would appreciate some monetary thanks for his information.
Oh, right. Well, Mr. Ghost, if this is going to be a transaction, I think we need to, do some bargaining. Your information, I'm not sure what it's really worth. I mean, you haven't told us much about it, so we don't really know what we're getting into, but, I can offer you 2 boxings. And yes, Luka does go right to boxings. He doesn't start the clip.
Nah, I want to come with you.
Okay, you drive a hard bargain. 3 boxings.
And he looks at Dervish. He says, I was in here when you were talking to Slim Jiminy earlier.
Okay. Where are you not, you little... What did you hear?
Well, I know things you want to know.
Okay.
You're gonna take me with you.
Alright, how about we take you with us and we'll tell you the date and time when we're going to leave? Marelyn is fully intending to lie to this leave without him.
Yeah, I'm not willing to slice this kid, so someone else needs to.
He says, "So you let me come with you?"
Yes, we'll set up a time and you will show up, and then we'll all go together.
He's gonna follow us. He's 100% just gonna follow us.
As soon as he's out of the room, I'm actually going to advocate for him to come with us. But I don't want him to know that.
And he's just thinking hard. He's like, okay, only because I don't want more people to die.
So it's a good reason to do things.
I'm sorry. Someone's dead?
Don't worry about it.
And he's like, well, you see, and he like pulls up a chair, like taking this opportunity to like fully invest himself in the crew. He says, well, you see, they're these guys, and they wear like these black coats, and they've been like kidnapping people, or at least, well, I mean, I think it's kidnapping. I'm pretty sure there's some sort of alliancy involved because most of them seem to go willingly, but they never come back. And I mean, clearly they're showing up dead, and some of them are dead now, so.
Guys, I'm suddenly extremely worried about Jelly. That was not my character. I am. Oh dear.
But I know where they're taking them.
You know where they're taking them? And where is that?
The university.
Okay.
Medical labs.
Oh.
Well, that's disturbing.
And I look at Luka, who attends the university?
Attended.
Yeah. Okay. I'm like...
3 of us attended the
Oh,
university.
who's the third?
Oh.
Hallie.
Fair enough.
It's kind of like one of those surprising things about Hallie.
She has the highest wits of any of us, I think.
I was going to say, she did say 6. I'm like...
She's extremely educated.
Well educated.
Well, Hallie, I never knew that about you.
I think I got my engineering degree. Cracker Jack? Well, obviously, Scadriel doesn't have Cracker Jacks, but whatever the equivalent of that is.
I just thought you were good with cars. You know?
Cars.
Cars. And she's like, I've never worked on cars, but whatever.
I'm taking this in low. Okay.
So when are we leaving?
So
for a while.
Mm-hmm.
How far is it to this place we're going to, Dervish?
It's about... Hey, DM, how far is it to get there?
DM says it's gonna take close to a month.
Oh, we should probably leave soon then.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
We
damn.
probably have a few days to get things together.
Okay.
Have brunch with grandma. A sort of thing.
Try and save Jelly.
Make sure that you have, like, yeah.
I'll give him a time that's kind of on the tail, like.
Except we now have 2 competing things because there's the thing in a month, and then there's the whole people getting kidnapped and killed.
I think that
Well, like if we know they're at the medical lab, it wouldn't take long to check that out.
Also, why would it take a month to get out there? You get to the roughs on the train in one day. Yeah.
I think that's just DM decision.
Okay, out of character, I have checked the scale on that map. The entire basin and the roughs all together is smaller than the state of Texas.
How
there is a mileage scale on that map.
Okay,
You know,
I'm gonna help Natasha here. And say that the
Please do.
old homestead that we'll be going to is quite far into the roughs. So while it might take us not long to get to the roughs, we're gonna have to like walk and carry to the rest of the way.
Horses
out toward the ocean.
Ooh. So you give him a date in like 3, 4, 5 days.
Yeah.
Go.
Kind of like maybe like in the afternoon. So if we decide to ditch him, we just leave the morning instead.
Okay. I'm gonna go pack.
That's a very good idea, Ghost.
Don't talk about anything important while I'm gone. And then he just kind of stands up, pushes in his chair, and walks out.
Kind of like as we like turn and watch him leave, like Royce casually knocks over the tower of coins with like his forearm, which is bare skin, because he like pushes up his sleeves.
Yeah, and then there's nothing going on with these coins.
nothing whatsoever.
Remind me, because in my head for some reason, Ian, I have Royce as the person who knows how to like sell, like get rid of illegal goods. No, okay, cool. I don't know why I had that in my head. Cool. That's fine.
I'm not a criminal.
Okay.
Marelyn probably has some.
Yeah, I probably have some contacts. It's not necessarily my main thing, but I probably have some contacts.
Cool.
In the world with that.
In that case, what I'm going to say is I'm going to be like, Marelyn, and I kind of tap the box with all the junk in it, all the jewels and necklace with a ancient shard on it, and I'd be like, so Marelyn, are you going to be able to get us a bit of cash with this?
I think I can manage something.
Cool.
Royce would advocate not selling the special necklace, because that, I think, is one of the most traceable things.
You know, maybe the metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, like metal mind 100% not getting sold.
I assumed that you weren't gonna.
Yeah.
And is there anything else on Grandma's list in the box, or just the metal mind?
There are a few just like jewels and stuff like.
Okay. Luka's gonna say, and as much as, you know, as proper thieves, we need to fill our coffers with our gains, our successfully obtained items. There are a few of those in there that I think my, you know, sweet grandmother would be interested in. And, you know, I might be able to find a plausible way, deniable way to get them back to her, and maintain, you know, some of my connections and influence, which, you know, I was able to use in this case.
Marelyn looks very skeptical.
Royce also looks very skeptical. That is perhaps asking for more fortune than is likely to be granted to.
Keep in mind, they do at this point have a list of stolen items. If you return them to your grandmother, they will perhaps be able to connect you with the fact that these were stolen.
Or they will ask her questions that you do not want asked.
If we were, you know, to stash them somewhere where we could give an anonymous tip to find, or something like that.
Luka, I think this idea is a bit too fanciful. You know, I think I know you care about your grandma, but we took steps to make sure this stuff didn't get traced back to you, and I think this is just, it's gonna be undoing that.
Right, yes. And so there was a lot that was just digested there. So we're good on the plates because Hallie nipped that one in the bud. Do we need to follow up with our
We should
client?
probably tell Adora that not to worry about that anymore. And I just had an idea. I've got to run by you guys. Do you think she'd want the necklace? Would people be okay?
She didn't specifically ask for it.
But
A lot of these items were taken from her originally. I feel like the least we can do is make sure some of the proceeds get back to her.
Yeah.
Perhaps it isn't wise to give our clients stolen goods.
Well, we can fence things and get her the money.
Or a couple of things that she could keep safe hidden.
Because I'm thinking, as Royce said, we can't really sell that necklace. It's a bit too traceable, and so if we were to give it away, I think that it would solve two birds with one stone. You know, we make the client feel nice, and we get rid of a very, very obvious item.
And if that is perhaps opening Adora up for future troubles. It saves us. It endangers her.
Maybe we should ask Adora what Adora thinks.
Yeah, well, that's what I wanted. That's one before I asked her. Thought I'd run that by you guys, but yeah, I think I'll ask her.
But a cut of the proceeds to Adora, I think, is more than fair. As well, this was intended to be a fundraiser for the university. Perhaps a small donation would be prudent.
Dervish just laughs and goes, "Oh, you're serious?"
No.
Doesn't the university have lots of wealthy donors already?
Exactly. I'm not.
Yes, and all of those wealthy donors were at this auction to give money that now is no longer being given.
I'm sure insurance will sort it out,
Yeah.
right? There's theft.
Yeah.
That will cover the bank.
Oh, right.
Students at the university have plenty of money already. They can survive.
They were going to donate the items, so it didn't make sense for them to donate insurance.
You would think. I don't think that's what's going to happen.
These university students are wealthy enough. They can survive one semester without the latest, fancy new gyms.
University students are wealthy at all. Some of them are there on scholarships that are indeed funded by programs like this.
I'm like, as Dervish, I'm really against this idea. I'm like trying to work out a way where I'm not being like, no.
It's like the university kids are like, yes, let's do this, and then the
and then we're like, no,
why are we donating money to the university?
Yeah. How about this? If you guys want to donate some money to the university, how about you guys can donate your shares to the university, and we'll leave it at that.
I wasn't thinking of a significant portion. Just a small gesture. Anonymous.
Royce, do you know what I do with my shares?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. I give them to this place. And so I'm trying to give as much money as I can back to the people who need it most. And the university is just not on that list.
Hey,
There will be
are you-
other galas, other events, right?
Yeah.
Are you all content kind of hand waving the conversation with Adora? I'll just do a little description. Like,
Yeah.
you all go with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
During the conversation, I would just ask for her best recommendation for a book about ancient imperial language, that sort of thing.
So that difficult to decipher.
So, you all meet with Adora, and she very graciously thanks you. And the amount that you managed to collect before you meet with her, based on Grace having fenced the goods, gives Adora enough that she is able to be able to start a small life for herself and her child. And she is quite grateful for that. When you offer her the necklace, she does think it best to not accept that, for the reasons that it might, be traced back to her and look suspicious. However, she is very grateful for what you have done, and that you have assured that her father's wishes have been fulfilled.
Even if it meant destroying the damn thing.
Yep. And she does express her regret that is what had to happen in the end. But you also sense some relief from her as well, that she would have felt it a duty to have continued on her father's work had it survived. Mm-hmm. And so now that it is gone, she does not have to do that and can just continue her life with her child and completely put this to rest.
Does she give an idea of what does she think her father's duty was?
He believes that there are some unanswered questions surrounding what are those books that Harmony gave?
The Words of Founding?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. He believed, she shares this with you after the fact. She's like, he believed that there were missing parts to the Words of Founding, and that given what we know of the histories, that they were not as extensive as they should have been.
I mean, accurate from
a
player perspective. Interesting.
Harmony held a few things back.
And her father was looking for those. But yeah.
I think we have
and what did we end up doing with the unkeyed metal mind?
Yeah.
I mean, Royce is more than happy to take a hold of that.
What's in it?
Oh yeah, Royce 100% would check at some point.
As I say, I think we've got 3 things outstanding before we break this meeting. I want Royce to check the metal mind. I want to make sure Royce makes a copy of the texts, and then we need to pick a new hiding place or a new meeting place.
Oh, should I just go through it and tell you what goes down with these?
Yeah. So Royce wouldn't just hand over a copy of the plate. He would over time translate it and relay information.
Yeah, so that's one that is not quite.
Again, it really shouldn't require that much translation.
No, it shouldn't, but you will have to sit down.
The eras has changed so little that you probably can just read it straight off.
Yeah.
You will have to sit down and transcribe it and,
learning a new font, basically.
Well, yeah, and then there's probably some
grammatical
difference.
Yeah, there will be some linguistic.
It's not like you're trying to read High Imperial.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, you can even see within English the difference in dialects between locations, right?
There's like a schedule
There
version
will
of the
be-
Thorn character, you know, that little weird Y.
Yeah, like I'm more than happy with it taking some effort to
Yeah.
get a usable version of it.
And as for the metal mines, what is stored in them, and perhaps this was a foresight on his name.
Oh, I have his name.
I have his name too somewhere. Where is it?
Saren.
Yes. Perhaps this was a foresight on Saren's part. But when Royce opens it and goes looking through the metal mine, it is a storage, and what he eventually figures out is that it is replicas of the books that were in the collection.
Oh.
As well as a few other texts that were not included.
Is there already a translated version of the plate in there?
No.
Okay.
But there are hazy copies of other plates.
So what'd you find in there, Royce?
And clarification. This is an unsealed metal mine, which means anyone can access it, not an unkeyed metal mine that only only archivists could access. Correct?
That's fancy.
Probably the idea would be that it was intended that Adora would take it and use it.
Oh, and she's not an archivist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
And so he because that plate was destroyed, right, and because she doesn't actually really know the contents of that metal mine, right, she has just moved on with her life. And you have seen that relief that she expressed.
She didn't really want to do it.
Okay.
Which is why Royce did not bring up the fact he had a copy. So Royce would just say, it seems to be replicas of his entire collection of books.
Sounds handy for Sonu. Sounds handy for a scholar.
Does clarification? Does Royce,
like not interested in
Yeah, I'm like, nice, cool.
I'm assuming he does because he just took a quick look. But does Royce put the information he takes out back in?
Royce. Don't like how long it'll take you to answer this question.
Yes, he puts it back into the unsealed.
Yeah, interesting.
This time. I don't think like his rings would be large enough for this entire collection.
And if he keeps it in his own brain, he risks it like degrading.
Yeah. And this is again, this is a whole life's work kind of thing, right? I mean,
but Royce does keep the metal mine.
Yeah.
Like that seems accurate. And then other than that, a new meeting place. I'm going to GM side of things. You don't exactly need a new meeting place given the fact that you are going to skip town here very quickly. My intention,
except that Grace's dad or Marelyn's dad knows where we need. And that's the problem.
Yes. However, I'm going to say, as a GM, my intention is that you will go take care of, if you choose, right? Take care of what's going on at the university, and then split. So yes, you need a meeting place, but it can be a very, very temporary meeting place. So don't stress too much about it, right? It might just be like someone's apartment.
We could just fill in a blank and just say we meet at the meeting place that we picked.
Yeah, exactly. Or a bar. At this point, right? I mean, so long as it's not... You guys aren't really planning any big heisty thing that needs to be super secret, right?
We just need a place to get together. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess, we've dealt with most things. We check out this lead at the university and try to help these people.
Question. Since Luka and I are alumni, could we get a tour from somebody of the medical building, perhaps, of we were here at that unfortunate event, we want to make sure it's unfortunate that the university lost out on funds, perhaps we can...
Dervish, I would like you to roll me a wits check.
Okay.
This is all of a 1.
Yeah.
Is there something she wants you to remember?
Maybe. I got a 3, 2, and a 5, which is a result of 0.
Hey, I will let this play out then.
So, did Dervish tell the group about what he saw on his smoke break?
I should probably do that. After Ghost left the room, let's say, I was I think I saw those people with black coats taking a girl through the campus whilst we were there.
What did the girl look like?
Brown hair, big green eyes. She was actually in here a few days, about a week ago.
Royce will look at Luka. Does that sound like Genevieve to you?
I mean, there's lots of people with brown hair and green eyes, and no offense, Dervish, but, we do kind of go in different circles. However, she was here.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say...
What would these people want with her?
So I got some information. She wasn't an Alamance or a Faring, was she?
He's noble-blooded.
Okay. There may be something to that. But I do think if you guys wanted to go there and ask for a tour of their medical labs, I think that would be a very good idea.
Luka?
Yes, that would work. And, if any of you want to come along, just in case, we could potentially come up with some alibis and get more of the group in.
Well, apparently, this Hallie over here is also an alumni, so...
True. Might be good to, have a bit of... Since it's, people are being killed,
Well, if we're with certain members of the faculty, I don't think we would be under any threat.
Oh, of course. Yes. Yeah, no, let's do a tour then and see what information we can obtain.
It's we can scope things out, and then more of us can perhaps return later.
Yeah, and then maybe others of us could investigate other reports of these men in black.
Yeah, I'm happy to do some rounds.
Okay. Yeah, so Adora, after you speak with Adora and after you have, after Royce looks through the metal mines. You all part ways and agree that, come morning, after Luka has had his, tea with his grandmother, that in that afternoon you should be able to, Royce and Luka and Hallie will go to the university and perhaps have a tour and check things out, and the potential of what could be going on. But that is
At
where
what point do we get a beat where we can spend advancements?
So you just would have done that during that short
okay.
Essentially, when I would
have. I'm thinking at this point, Hallie would get another brass stunt, and it was at 5 advancements at that cost.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, she's had the specialized pinpoint heat. I think she's gonna go ahead and take heat weapon because I feel like she just practiced a whole lot.
She did.
I can do stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So I will add that and 2, 3, 4, 5 spent.
Okay. But that will wrap up our session for the evening.
Woo!
This was a lot of fun.
This was a really good session.
No, a lot happening.
Awesome. Okay.
I did some clever there at the end.
You did. Yeah. You saved our asses.
Soul-hearting clever.
The backup there was the potential that you might have already been going to the university to deal with the medical stuff, so you might have been able to, break it and get it out if you had needed to. But
yeah, we just broke it.
Yeah, just metal that bad boy.
Turns out better for Adora.
Yep. Yeah. Cool. So
really going to upset Grace's dad.
Oh yeah. We'll find a new pub to meet in. Or a pub to meet in. So thank you to everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed our 4th episode of Diceborn. Don't forget our giveaways. You can buy all of the Mistborn Adventure Game things from mistborngames.com. And thank you again to Crafty for these giveaways. We will announce the winner in the next episode in 2 weeks. Another thank you for Natasha for running this game for us. And then you can find the rest of us on 17shot.com for your news, theories, discussion, and fun. You can find us on Discord, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And if you like our stuff, you can support us on Patreon. We released the Session 0 to our patrons along with the first episode. So if you back us, you can find out a bit more about how we're making this show. Stay tuned and keep those dice rolling. Bye.
Bye.